The 3 legends with the highest pick rates right now in Apex had nobody playing them only a few months ago. So what happened to these 3 legends to make them skyrocket to be must picks for pro players? Well, these 3 legends are Ash at a 29% pick rate, Ballistic at a 13.6 pick rate, and also Alter at a 10.2 pick rate. Bear in mind, Ash, Ballistic and Alter were not played only a few months ago. Let's start by talking about Alter though, who's now the 3rd most picked legend in the game, but up until season 24, she had literally nobody playing her. So why did everybody suddenly start playing her? Well, in the season 24 mid-season update, she got a set of buffs that not only made her powerful, but also made people realize her true use in the game. The changes start at her tactical. Respawn reworked this thing. They gave it a second charge, and they also gave it extra depth capability. So now you can use it a lot more often, and also it just became more accessible with changes to the portal's tail, a cooldown reduction, and also the highlighting of enemies upon leaving a portal. But the biggest changes were to Alter's ultimate, which is where her true power stands. Respawn changed her ultimate portal massively and made it reusable. They gave us the ability to reuse it every 30 seconds, which has now been nerfed to every 60 seconds, and also the ability to have 2 ults active at once, and also cool downed enemies back to the ult. And this is where the power lies in Alter. This is why she's so popular right now, because she's amazing for getting out of sticky situations. You see, at the end of the day, especially at high level gameplay, Apex is a team game. If one of your teammates goes down, you're at a disadvantage. But with Alter, if one of your teammates goes down, you can all just portal to a predetermined location and then reset and then go at the fight again, essentially giving you a second chance. And also the portal can allow rats to run away from enemies as well, so that is why Alter is suddenly so popular, because there's so much more power in her ult. And if someone's really good with Alter, the tactical can work insanely well for them. Of course, the other day Respawn did push out a nerf, which did nerf Alter slightly, and also gave enemies the ability to chase her sooner after she goes back to her ultimate. But still, she's very powerful, and she's getting a lot of use where RP is an important thing to preserve. Also, let's not ignore the Skirmisher class being very powerful right now. They've received nerfs, but still, they're one of the better classes. She is only the 3rd most popular legend out of the 3 legends I'm going to talk about though. The 2nd most popular is Ballistic, who is a legend nobody would have expected to be competitively viable, because his kit's kind of boring. The reason Ballistic wasn't played much up until a few months ago is because his kit isn't the most fun thing in the world. I mean, for a moment compare Pathfinder to Ballistic, but once again, Ballistic got a buff back in season 24, which made him really powerful, and it did take a few weeks for people to realize just how powerful he is, but now he's the 2nd most picked legend at competitive levels, and people who fight against him absolutely hate him. So what did Respawn do to make him so good and so worthy and so picked? Well, back in season 24, they buffed him along with Ash and kind of gave him some really fan requested changes, like the ability to put care package weapons in the sling and also give care package weapons unlimited ammo when activating his ultimate. But the true power was put into Ballistic with the buffs to his tactical, because Respawn buffed it by giving it 2 charges along with buffs to the damage of his tactical pistol, and also an upgrade that doubles his pistol tac charges, which gives him 4 tac charges and allows him to silence a whole team at once. So after these buffs were made, people started to realize the power in Ballistic and his ability to overheat several enemies at once on a team, allowing for better pushes and more pressure on the enemies. So that's why Ballistic has risen so much, not to mention that his ultimate affects the whole team and basically buffs the whole team, which gives infinitely more value to the team than something like the Mirage ultimate. Ballistic can essentially turn his team into a load of monsters with unlimited ammo and extra speed, and your team into a load of idiots who can't shoot their gun for more than 2 seconds without the gun getting a little bit too hot. And you're probably starting to notice a pattern between these legends who are extremely popular at the minute. They all have a clear function which can be heavily utilized in every single fight you get into. Like, in every single fight, you're gonna want a buff from Ballistic, and you're gonna want the enemies at a disadvantage via his Whistler. And with every fight, you're going to want an escape plan with Altar's Portal. But with a legend like Bangalore, for example, you're not going to be able to use her ultimate in every fight, or you might not be able to use her smoke in every fight. But with Ballistic and Altar, you're going to find a use in every fight for one of their abilities at least. So that now leaves us to talk about the final legend, who used to be one of the least picked legends in the game, but is now the most popular legend in the game, and statistically, you're nearly guaranteed to have her on every team. And this is Ashe. And I don't think it's a secret to why she's so popular. If you've played her, you've probably realized that she derives a lot of her power from her dash, which Respawn basically refuses to nerf. If you haven't realized, her dash is so powerful because you can jump around and over people, which is massively disorientating. And it plays into most people's major weakness in Apex, their aim. So Ashe definitely derives a lot of her power from her dash, but also the buffs to her tactical and ultimate, and also class, actually make her very desirable and pickable as well. Ashe's ultimate portal has seen massive improvements compared to when it was released. When it released, it was really inconsistent, it was buggy, you could hardly ever see where you were aiming your portal, but now it feels great, it feels smooth like butter, and you usually end up portaling exactly where you want to. With her tactical, it's super annoying, it's something that locks you in place, and now she has 2 of them, and she also has upgrades where you can mold her tactical to your playstyle. But the big thing is, Ashe's class is very powerful as well. Ashe is an assault class legend, as is Ballistic, so these points also apply to Ballistic, which means Ashe gets sprint and reload speed boosts whenever she breaks an enemy's shield. She can carry extra ammo and grenades, and also can open hidden compartments in weapon supply bins, and on top of that, Ashe's weapons automatically reload after being stowed, which is such an insane list of passive abilities just for a certain class of legends. A lot of people find this unfair to this day. The assault class has seen nerfs, but still people believe it's OP, but Respawn clearly doesn't. I do hope they try to catch Controller and Recon up with Assault and Skirmisher and even Support, which are clearly very powerful classes. The strange thing is though, despite Respawn making patches to nerf Ballistic and Altar, who are the 2nd and 3rd most picked legends in Apex, they've done nothing to Ashe, who's at a 29% pick rate, which means there's very nearly one of her on every team. In fact, let me load up a game and see if I get an Ashe teammate. 1 second. Okay, yeah, the first person is literally taking Ashe. So why didn't Respawn nerf Ashe? Because clearly, if they could, they would? Well, you've probably heard this theory from me before, but I think Respawn are deliberately using Ashe as kind of a benchmark for how all legends should be. I think Respawn think legends should have at least one unique movement ability, as recently in an interview they made it clear that they think movement is the special sauce of Apex, and they did give movement to Lifeline on her rework, they gave movement to Sparrow, and obviously Ashe got that dash. So I think Respawn don't want to nerf Ashe because in like a year or two, every legend's gonna have a passive or some sort of movement ability, which will put them on par with Ashe, or at least provide similar utility. And there is a rumor of a leaked legend right now with a slide movement passive, so we'll have to see how this pans out in the future, because I think my theory might be true. Regardless, I think it's really interesting and a testament to Respawn's reworking of recent legends, to the fact that the 3 most popular legends right now would have caused you to get laughed at if you picked them a year ago. It's nice to see how much Apex is changing, and clearly the changes to Apex are working, considering the player count today was only 7,000 less players than at launch. Respawn's keeping us playing this game pretty well, but subscribe to see who's going to be the most popular legend next.